Welcome to the Find Your Leadership Confidence podcast with Vicki Nedling. You are about to discover impactful lessons that help you grow as an individual, grow your confidence, and find the positive and good within you, so you powerfully and authentically become the best version of yourself. Be sure you visit our website at www.findyourleadershipconfidence.com. While you're there, subscribe to us via your favorite network. Now tune in, get ready, and enjoy the journey of emerging as a leader of exception in the 21st century.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Find Your Leadership Confidence podcast. My name is Vicki Nedling, and I'm coming to you from Roswell, Georgia. The goal of this podcast is to empower our guests through topics as well as the guests we bring to the table, and also to help you grow as a confident leader and take your business or your life to the next level. Today, my guest is John Katsavos. Is that correct?
Katsavos.
Katsavos. It sounds like it's Greek or something.
It is.
Awesome. Let me tell you a little bit about John Katsavos. John strives to help people overcome depression and anxiety by getting them in shape and understanding the importance of martial arts, which is intriguing to me, by improving their bodies, wealth, relationships, and themselves, and creating a strong spiritual foundation. His personal experience with this came in his mid-20s when he almost jumped off a bridge. He found his saving grace through hacks in working out and martial arts. This is going to be a very interesting interview for sure. So please welcome me and join me in welcoming John Katsavos. John, thank you so much for being my guest. My goodness, when I read your bio, it was so intriguing that I thought, I got to have this guy on my podcast. And I also do a lot with the youth, and it touched me because there's so many people right now, the young people that after COVID are in, as you call it, that funk. And so I thought this might be great timing for you to, kind of share what you've done. I always start out with a simple question to break the ice. And so just tell everybody what part of the country you call home.
I come actually from Toronto, Ontario, but I recently moved down to South Florida.
That's a difference.
Yeah, and today is the first day of a Category 3 hurricane, which is my first hurricane that I'm going through. So it's quite interesting. I thought it was going to be a lot worse.
Yeah, Category 3 is nothing. Well, if you lose power, we'll just pause.
Okay.
So let's get right into this. Tell me, what type of martial arts did you start whenever you introduced martial arts? I know there's different ones. So which one did you use?
My martial arts journey started when I was 8 years old, and I was a skinny, scrawny little kid that was about to start to get beaten up on. So my dad decided, and my confidence wasn't the best. I was very self-conscious, I was always an introvert. My dad thought, you know what, I got to put this kid into martial arts to build his confidence a little bit. So my journey actually started with Shoryuken Karate. And my sensei at the time was directly from Okinawa.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, I had a very influential martial arts sensei at the time. A lot of good, fond memories. A lot of interesting stories came out of that. Like the time I had to wash toilets for 2 months.
Oh, what did you do?
I broke a kid's arm because he had some choice words for my mother and my sister. So I broke his arm.
Wow.
My sensei found out about it, and I was cleaning toilets for about a month, 2 months.
Wow.
Yeah. Never did that again.
Yeah. So my grandson, the older one, does Choi Kwan Do. And it's very interesting. It's sitting there and listening to their lesson. You learn these moves and the exercise, but you really learn life lessons in martial arts, which I thought was very interesting. I never thought of it, I just always just thought it was like, Bruce Lee kind of stuff, but it's really was very fascinating to watch. So after you had your discovery of martial arts, you became a personal trainer. And what was your main objective to help your clients? What were you trying to do for them?
When I first started off in personal training, I never thought I would end up as a personal trainer, just to clear that with everybody. I had gone to community college to learn to become an auto mechanic. And after some, I won't call them failures, some life experiences with working with auto mechanics, I realized it's not for me.
Mm-hmm.
Then it just was a whole bunch of different series of different events, which led to the suicide, excuse me. So there was a big journey in my past that led me to become a personal trainer. Again, I was introduced to the wonderful world of gym life at the tender age of 16 years old, because I was a scrawny little kid in high school and was ready to get picked on, and I went to the gym.
Mm-hmm.
And I fell in love with it. I absolutely fell in love with the workouts, the lifestyle, the eating, the supplementation, even though back in the early 90s, the supplements back then were just disgusting.
Yes, they were.
Did not want to take supplements back then. Now it's like gourmet.
Mm-hmm.
So had a little bit of my little thing there. I'll just fast forward to the reason to answer your question. I initially became a personal trainer because I loved it. Mm-hmm. I loved working out. I loved the human body. I loved understanding the intricacies in how it moved, how it changes, how you can, I wouldn't say manipulate it, but like how you can do one tweak and you just see these amazing results with these human beings that have no idea.
Yeah.
Because I could do it with myself. And the epitome of learning is being able to teach.
Yeah.
So threw myself into personal training, and here I am.
So we all know that we all have good intentions, and then we lose those motivation. How do you motivate someone that seems that they've lost all hope of ever being healthy and fit?
That's a really deep question, because we have to understand that motivation is only temporary.
Yeah.
And if we go into anything in life without a proper why behind it, and really understand your why, then just be motivation. You're going to be gung-ho for 2 to 3 weeks, and then bye-bye whatever progress you are making. Mm-hmm. So it's always having, for me, I try to tell my clients, what is your real why? Ask yourself, why do I want to do this? And then ask yourself why 5 more times to get to the real core of your proper why. And it's even more so with mental health and depression and anxiety and isolation. Mm-hmm. It's like, why am I afraid to go out? Why am I afraid to go to a bar and just have dinner at a bar by myself? Why? Mm-hmm. And you'll it's different for everyone. So mm-hmm. I can't give a proper answer as to, it's because of this. No, it could be a million different things. Right. So
as a personal trainer, though, you need to get to know the person before you give them guidance and direction.
It's part of the job. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you've ever worked with a personal trainer, but I've been a personal trainer since 2008. Mm-hmm. And I know more about my clients' spouses and their husbands, their wives, their parents, their brothers and sisters than they actually know about them. So it's a very we become like an intimate part of the family. I've been invited to weddings, bar mitzvahs, baptisms. It's like, oh, this is John, my trainer. And I'm like, yeah, hi, how are you? I heard a lot about you.
Oh my goodness. So sometimes you have to dig deep to find out what's keeping people in the funk. Or do you have any stories that you can share with someone, without names or anything, but somebody that you helped who was resisting help? You got their story, you dug into it, you knew what they needed, but they just didn't want your help. How do you do that? Do you walk away?
I have a tendency of giving people space. When it depends on the client. Like one client pops into my mind like a beacon. I was working at a big box gym down in Toronto, and she was assigned to me. I don't know why they assigned her to me, but I got her, and she was about 150 pounds overweight. She was the most quietest, most shyest person. Like trying to get a hello out of her was trying to pull teeth. So I saw that right away. Like when I met her, she was like she was putting her head down. She wouldn't look at me straight in my eyes. She wouldn't look at the weights when we're doing the I call it creating the suit, creating the new dress for her. And I recognized it, and I asked her, "Do you feel comfortable being in the public eye?" She's like, she didn't say anything. I'm like, okay, let's just go over to the private room. So it's just trying to create a safe space for the client to make sure that they're comfortable, that they don't feel like someone's watching them in the gym, which nobody's watching them because everybody in the gym's too busy looking at themselves.
That's what all those mirrors are for. The question that I also wondered is, how did she get there? Did like a doctor tell her she needed to do this, or did she decide this was the only thing that was going to work? So she got past that fear of being in this situation, but not when she was there feeling comfortable in it.
It was more of her parents. Her parents were more concerned for her than she realized how, isolated she was making herself. And I think the story was that her parents actually forced her to go to the gym. And within a year, she had completely opened up with me in like 2 months.
Yeah, because she trusted you by that time, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, we would poke at other people, other members of the gym. We're like, look at her. What is she doing? What is he doing? That's just dumb. Wow. But in a year, she never saw the changes. And I always tell all my clients, you will not see the change. It's impossible. You see yourself every single day. It's like watching grass grow. You're not going to see it. And she dropped 100 pounds in a year. And I was so proud of her when we did the final numbers and everything. She didn't even see it. She still saw herself as the fat girl.
Yeah.
It wasn't up until my manager showed her a picture of her a year ago.
Yeah. That's the telling thing. Like, who is that person?
Yep. And she was so happy. She was beaming. That was the first time she gave me a hug. That was the first time I got a hug from her. And I give people hugs. Like, I'm not one of those guys that's like, hey, or hugs and high fives, whatever you feel comfortable with. She wouldn't even give me a high five. But that day she walked right up to me. She gave me a big hug, high five, and she's like all happy. A few years later, I found out that she was engaged. I'm so happy for her. If she's out there listening to this and you know who you are in Toronto, LA Fitness, and Don Mills, I'm so happy for you.
Yeah. That burst of confidence can change your world. It truly can. And it's finding that acceptance of who you are. It's fantastic. Now, you also have a podcast called the Fitness Oracle. So what's your main focus of that?
My main focus for the Fitness Oracle is to bring on people that are in the health and wellness worlds, personal development, martial arts world, to help talk about how their practice actually helps improve mental health issues. Because I'm living proof of this. As you said earlier, I almost jumped off a bridge, and if it wasn't for simple tips, tricks that I used in the early stages, it wouldn't have been a bridge. It would have been my gun, because I got a job as an armed guard, and that was.
So, at what point did you recognize that there was a problem, that you were not getting out of that funk? How far gone were you?
I was really gone. I had locked myself in my parents' bedroom basement for a year. Only time I would come out of that room was to shower once a week, eat once a day, and go to the bathroom. Wow. That's it. I had locked myself in there. And every morning, I'll never forget this. Every morning when I would wake up to wash my face, I would look at myself in the mirror, have some very negative, very bad choice words to say to myself. And it got to the point where I almost took my own head and bashed it right up against the mirror, because I didn't want to see myself anymore. I was so angry. I was so disappointed. I felt like even manure was higher on the food chain than me.
It's almost, well, what led in, that doesn't happen overnight. So what do you think were the series of things that led to get you to locking yourself in that room?
Before all this happened, I had a very good job. I was a shift supervisor, security shift supervisor downtown condo in Toronto. Actually, it was an office building in Toronto. And I was getting paid very good money for 23, 24-year-old kid. I put myself back into university to level up myself and get a better job. And two guys under my supervision on Christmas Eve, 2001, decided to go and help themselves to a cup of coffee each at a client's office, breaking and entering and theft. I lost my job because I didn't report them to my supervisor. They lost their job because of breaking and entering and theft. Before that, I had pretty much the amazing life. A great job, was going to move out on my own, put myself back into university. Friends, I could pick up my phone and call one friend. I'd have 10 friends go out whenever I wanted. When I lost my job and I lost my money, my friends abandoned me, save for two. I have to say this, save for two. The rest, I fell off the face of the earth. I dropped out of university. I couldn't afford to go to university. And I got stuck in my parents' basement. My whole life just crumbled before my eyes.
So were your parents supportive, or did they add to the situation?
My parents were supportive in their own way. They gave me the space and the time that I needed to deal with myself. And they were ready to, my mom said she was ready to intervene before I walked to that bridge. Just after I would walk to that bridge, she was ready to intervene, because she's like, this isn't right. This isn't healthy. This isn't me. This isn't John.
Yeah. As a parent, that has to be the hardest thing, to have your child and you don't know how to help them.
Yeah, it is. I'm not a parent, but I have two beautiful little nephews, 7 and 4. rough little kids, but I love them to death, and I have them like my own kids, and I don't want to see any harm come to them. But
Yeah.
in one way, it's kind of important to have that kind of stuff to mold them into the proper, well-rounded individuals for the future.
Yeah. It's the failures. It's the bumps in the road that actually give us the character that makes us, who we are, stronger, better than we might have been if it was an easy road. We tend to get comfortable and take things for granted.
Mm-hmm.
And each of those things kind of carves us into who we, turn out to be. You talk about how you had to start over. So when you started with the martial arts and the personal trainer, was that a couple years, or was it a slow and go? Was it just things started to click and you slowly gained back confidence? What was that like for you?
I keep telling people, look, you don't snap your fingers and get over depression, PTSD, anxiety, isolation. It doesn't happen. It happens over a course of time. And you have to be patient with yourself. Like when I had the incident at the bridge, the next day I took the towel and I put it over the mirror. I didn't want to see myself.
Right.
I didn't want to see myself. I'm like, okay, what can I do for me to, feel a little bit better today? And I'm like, well, when I was my happiest, I was in the gym.
Yeah.
I was in the gym and I was in the dojo.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay, I can't afford a gym because I don't got no money. I definitely can't afford a dojo right now. So what can I do? So I just started going out for a walk, like half an hour walk around the block. Perfect. Every day. One thing led to another. Like when I say one thing led to another, it took a course of a year for me to get a job.
Mm-hmm.
And once I got the job, I started paying off my debts.
Mm-hmm.
Once my debts were paid off, I joined the gym. Once I joined the gym, I started to look better, started to feel better. An opportunity came up. I left the armed guard position for another position, and I got some more money. I signed up to a dojo.
No.
And 10 years after that, I was a personal trainer, an instructor in Sistema. Well, not certified, but I was teaching classes.
Mm-hmm.
And I was on top of the world. I opened up my own studio, which is another story.
You're just peeling the onion here.
Yeah, but it's just, if you are in those shoes and you do want to get better, just understand that it does take time. It's not a quick fix. And anybody out there who says, I got a quick fix, full of it.
Yeah. And you can't be alone, right? You need help. You need a community. You need experts to guide you, right?
Community is everything.
Yeah.
And guys have a very bad mentality when it comes to being the lone wolf. While it's important for us to be the lone wolf, to be that protector, that provider. It's sometimes the lone wolf needs the pack.
Yeah.
And that's some lessons that I'm learning right now.
Mm-hmm. So what tools do you share with people to help them?
VO Fitness, my fitness company, is based off of 4 pillars. Nutrition, I help people with their nutrition. I help people with rest and recovery, with their exercise, obviously, and their mindset. Yeah. Because it takes these 4 pillars in order for them to set a solid foundation. And it's constantly evolving. For the guys out there listening, I do have a community. I'm trying to build a community called Band of Brothers, where we can all come together and we just talk about our issues.
No, excellent. band of brothers. We'll have to make sure that we call that out at the end again. I have a question I ask everybody, and I think you probably already answered this, but what advice would you give your 20-year-old self?
Oh, I love this question. I asked the same question on my podcast. I love it.
Mhm.
What would I give my 20-year-old self advice? Pick your friends smarter.
Yeah.
Surround yourself with people that will bring you up, not bring you down.
Yeah. Good advice. Good advice. I think as a teenager, we often think, well, it's just the amount of friends we have, and we don't really look at who our friends are and see how their influence is changing our mindset and, our core values sometimes even. So good advice. Okay, rapid fire questions. Best martial arts for beginners, no matter what age, not just kids.
That's a tough one. That's a really tough one.
So let's make it easier and just say, if I am either an adult trying to have more focus, or I have a youngster, 7, 8-year-old who I want to understand the value of discipline.
The reason why I say that's a tough question is because they're all good.
Yeah, you don't want to insult anyone.
No, but if you look at the core value of what martial arts brings to the table, at any martial art, whether it be Brazilian jiu-jitsu to karate to kung fu to sistema, the core value of all martial arts is be a good person in society.
Yeah.
So it's like saying, okay, pick your favorite child.
It also is the respect. I really appreciated how they emphasized respect.
Yes, yeah. And to me, okay, nobody really knew about Russian martial arts back in the 80s when I was a young lad getting into martial arts. And I found out about Sistema in my late 20s.
Mm-hmm.
But it was an evolution. It was, Shotokan karate focuses on a specific type of religious practice, and they do. I dabbled with Muay Thai. Muay Thai dabbles with a specific type of religion. I don't understand that. It didn't vibe with me. But Sistema is based off of Russian Orthodoxy belief systems, which falls in line with Greek Orthodoxy.
Yeah, very cool. I had no idea.
It's a deeper concept, and people and this is true for all martial arts. They don't teach people the spiritual aspect until later in your career, and usually it's about 3 to 5 years while you're in it. That's when you start to get into the I wouldn't say the religious, the
spiritual.
The spiritual aspect of the system that you're learning.
All right, top 3 hacks that you have.
Keep it easy. Keep it simple. Find one meal, change it.
And that falls in with the keep it easy, keep it simple too.
Keep it simple.
Yeah, because then you'll repeat it. It's
exactly. And number 2 would be get out for a walk at least once a day.
Yeah.
And the last tip that I would give would be it's right on the tip of my tongue. Start journaling your sleep.
I was sitting here thinking, because my anti-aging wellness company, we have all those things that you said, but sleep is a big one. And a lot of people don't correlate their weight issues with sleep, but it's so tied to it. Yeah, journal. I actually have an Aura ring that records it for me. And it's eye-opening. All right. Who would be your ideal client?
Oh, another tough question. Somebody who's suffering from depression. And that's a loaded client, because when you're in the depression, you don't think you're depressed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's really that simple. If you just follow those three things,
Mm-hmm.
you can drastically change
So
your mindset.
I guess my next question would be kind of a spin-off of that one. If you are in denial, are there things, triggers, indicators that tell you there's something wrong? You know, lock it yourself in a room, only coming out once a day, you know, those are big signs. But in the beginning, it probably wasn't that. It was probably some subtle things.
What are the conversations that you're having with yourself?
Yeah.
That's the key indicator. Is it a negative conversation that you're having in your head, or is it one that gives you excitement? If it's bringing you down, there's a good indicator that you might be on that path that's going to push you further down. If it's not, then it's probably the other way that you're going. So just be careful what goes on in your head.
Yeah. What's the best place for you to regroup or rejuvenate? I can't even talk today. Rejuvenate. What's the best place? You know, there's different things. You know, some people curl up to a book. I love to just go and sit at the beach, and when nobody's there, and just listen to the water. So what's yours?
I'm going to get a little nerdy with you and your audience, but nothing is better than me binge watching off of Star Wars.
Yes. Well, I have of the age where, yes, Star Wars. That was my first date with my husband, was to see the original Star Wars. So cool. All right. Well, it has been great. Right now is the time where we're going to just share my screen. So those of you that are wanting to get in touch with John, this has his contact information. So please go ahead and get ready to take a screenshot. And those of you that are listening just to the audio, I will read off what the information is, okay? His email, or I'm sorry, his website is https://link linktr.ee like Edward slash RESLIENTRODUCTIONS. So that's Resilient Reboot Productions. Resilient Reboot Productions. And how else can they get to know you? Are you on Facebook, LinkedIn, any of the social medias?
That link actually sends them to somewhere where all my links are.
Perfect.
I'm everywhere.
He's everywhere. All right. So you want to go there and check out. Please contact him if you have questions. If you think that you would like his services, that would be awesome. And as always, I just want to let you see the book that I just got out in February. I'm one of 21 authors. It's called Unstoppable by Rochelle Marie Lawson, Being Fierce, Fearless, and Unfuckwithable in Life and Business. So you can get that on Amazon. But we are not here to talk about my book. We are here to say thank you so much to John for being our guest today. It has been wonderful. You gave us some great insights. You shared your vulnerability of telling us your story, which will hopefully touch someone that may need your help, or recognize that they need to find help in that community that we talked about. So I want to thank John Katsavos for sharing his story with us. some great tips, some tools, some motivation that we should get off our behinds and take a walk. I'm going right after this. So please be sure to reach out, give him any questions that you might have, connect with him. And please don't forget, life is a journey and it's up to you to enjoy the ride. My name is Vicki Nettling, and thank you for being with me during this podcast. We're signing off.
Thank you for tuning into the Find Your Leadership Confidence podcast with Vicki Nettling, where we share impactful lessons that help you grow as an individual, grow your confidence, and find the positive and good within you so you powerfully and authentically become the best version of yourself. Remember to visit our website at www.findyourleadershipconfidence.com and enjoy even more great episodes like this one. Again, while you're here, subscribe to us via your favorite network. We look forward to seeing you next time on the Find Your Leadership Confidence podcast.